Welcome back. Dominicanos USA is a nonprofit organization empowering the Dominican community through civic engagement, economic opportunity, and social integration. Through the pandemic, they've provided free citizenship classes, census information, resources, and more. Joining us now to discuss is Eddie Cuesta, Executive Director of Dominicanos USA, and Vesly Beato. She does digital social media for Dominicanos USA. Thank you both for joining us today.
Well, thank you for the invitation. It's a real pleasure to be here, and seeing that you continue to promote very important information to our community based on this pandemic that we are going through. But, we at Dominicanos USA have made it our efforts to really, provide as much information as possible and help our community.
And Eddie, for those who are not familiar with Dominicanos USA, I gave a short intro, but can you tell us more about your mission?
Sure, thank you. Well, Dominicanos USA started in 2013 at Ostos Community College in the South Bronx. We have been, helping our community to empower them through civic, social, and economic integration. By that, I mean that we have been out in the community informing them about the importance of registering to vote. As we approach many of our community residents, we realized that there was a huge need to become U.S. citizens. New York has over 900,000 legal permanent residents. And we found out that it was so important as we approached those, who wanted to register to vote. And since then, we have been, registered more than 125,000 people in our community. Throughout other states that we do some work, a total of 175,000. We mobilize our community during the voting, in terms of making sure that they could get out to the polls, early voting, and I could talk to you a little bit about that. But we have found that during the pandemic, it has been so instrumental, our work, to help our community to become U.S. citizens. We have developed a platform, Citizenship. We work as a partnership with Citizenship Work, which is a platform that helps our community apply, put in all of the information on this tool. And then what we do is we set up, appointments for those people that qualify to become U.S. citizens, and we help them to get their citizenship application completed, legal review, and that's part of our work. As well as we have also been doing some for last year. We're very helpful to our community, especially foreign-born, to help them through economic integration, finding jobs through a partnership with Workforce One and the city. So that was very helpful. And now we are, busy making sure that our community gets counted. Those areas that are, have not responded to the census, we're very aggressively making sure that our community does not get left out, and we are able to get the resources available in the future. And we know how important it is, the census.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Eddie. And as we know, COVID-19 has changed so much, and we've all transitioned more to this digital sphere. As we have this interview here through the computer, through Zoom, we're all kind of consuming information and receiving information online and social media. So we're glad to have Vesly here. Vesly, can you tell us about your work with Dominicanos USA and the work that you do to share this information online?
Hi, thank you so much. COVID-19 has definitely been a huge change. Like you said, we're here doing an interview through Zoom, which is amazing. Thank you so much for this. We really pride ourselves on being a great resource to our community. We've been sending information out remotely and sending resources and providing information on like food pantries in the Bronx and other areas, and just giving information that sometimes our communities don't know where to look. And we pride ourselves in being some place that they can look and find these answers to very important questions that they have.
And of course, it's bilingual, so Spanish and English information available on Dominican resources. So that's super important. That language barrier is also being confronted on Dominicanos USA and also helped for the community. Eddie, can you tell us more about your free citizenship classes? Who qualifies for these citizenship classes, and how can people register?
Sure. Well, we have helped, several thousand people to a path to citizenship. And it's basically very simple. A lot of people don't realize, that how simple it is to really apply for the U.S. citizenship. Although it's 22, over 20 pages, the N400 application. And what we do is we make sure, to our promotion and the word of mouth, that has been, the biggest way of really getting the information out. Those people that really has been naturalized, and that's other relatives. Hey, listen, it's very, it's very simple. So what we do is very, we promote, we make sure, the requirements, you have to be at least 18 years old. have been a lawful permanent resident for 5 years, or married to a U.S. citizen for over 3 years, have been physically present, in the state for at least, half of the time. A lot of times, our community, they travel back and forth a great deal, and be able to read and write and speak basic English. And be a person of good moral character. So since the pandemic hit, we started, we went remotely in mid-March. And what we have done is we have been promoting the citizenship virtual citizenship drive. I could tell you that last week we registered 53 people. We were able to process 33 applications. And it's very simple. What we do is we make sure we put it similar to what you have here, a welcome room. In that welcome room, we even ask them if they have, fill out their census form. And then they go into, the other rooms that helps them, in terms of if they forgot to include something in their application. And finally, they go in for legal review. If they need assistance, a benefit letter, we have a relationship with the Human Resources Administration where they are able to get their benefit letter. So once they have everything, it's all, fine, and they get the approval from the legal review, it goes to checkout. And the only thing they have to do is just, mail in their application. We also help them with a fee waiver if they qualify, which is so important. And one of the things we have seen a surge in people applying, because as of October 2nd, the fees will be increased from $725 to $1,170. That's about 83%, increase. We are also programming to have another workshop, which will be on Thursday, October 24th. So you could imagine, we've been doing this, simultaneously since the COVID, and it's been increasing. And I think one of the few organizations that really supporting our community in applying for U.S. citizenship, which is so important. And, citizenship, most of the people, they tell us they want to apply because they have the U.S. passport. They could vote, which is very important. And, that's part of our work. So maybe Vesly want to add something to it, but, some of the things that we've seen 18 years old, applying, you have people that are 80 years old applying. So you shouldn't be scared. It's a very simple process. Right now, we will be expecting USCIS, Immigration Naturalization Services, to open up. They've been doing very gradually. And then what we do as well is those who might have a need to get educated in civics, in the civic classes, we have a partnership with the New York Historical Society. It's been very interesting. We've been doing this. We used to do it in our office, in classroom, and then we converted through the online version. And we have, in the classes more than, 18, 25 people. So we are, helping them in terms of, how they could, proceed to a path to citizenship. So, it's a combination of really being out there for our community.
Thank you for sharing that. Vesly, if you can chime in just about the youth getting involved in this process as well and applying for these citizenship resources at Dominicanos USA.
One of the biggest things that I've seen that I've really been amazed at is the diversity there is in age. There's a huge range of like super young people from my age that are like 18, 20, and then people who are older who also want to get their citizenship. And I really like that in our events. Like Eddie said, we have different rooms that help people, and I'm there to translate. So in DUSA, we wear multiple caps, and I'm there to translate for them, not just to be a digital media specialist. And I really like the way we just handle the whole situation and how we do our events. For example, the first one we did, we only helped around 20 people, and we helped around 20 to get their citizenship. And the next one we did, we more than doubled that by helping 50 people, and by doing such a range in ages. I also tried to help motivate the younger people to get into the census and registering to vote and everything through our social media pages and doing things that will catch their eyes. So definitely, we don't focus on one specific age. We definitely want to focus on all ages in our community.
Right. And how are we seeing the census operating in our communities, in the Dominican community in particular? Is there still a need for ourselves to count? Please talk about the importance of making the Dominicans count in our community, as well as other people in the immigrant community of the Bronx count.
Definitely. Hispanics are consistently undercounted in the census, and Dominicans in particular. What we see a lot, and what I see on our social media pages, that they're scared about what the questions will ask. Sometimes they don't know, they're worried about the citizenship question, or if they're asked if there's citizenship, they have it. So it's important for us to address those questions for them and let them know, hey, it's quick, it's easy, it doesn't ask about that. And it's just important that we get counted, because that leads to fixing issues that matter to us, like public schools, like healthcare, roads, and housing. Things that matter to us, the census helps with that. So it's addressing those problems, addressing those issues with the census are really important.
Absolutely. Eddie,
yes. I'd like to add to that. Basically, the Dominican community have participated, in 2010, they were one of the groups that really, stood out, in terms of responding to the census. But due to the COVID, and as Vesly mentioned, the immigration question, and other, issues that have, come up, we have been very aggressively promoting, specifically in those areas that are low, hard to count areas. So the Bronx is about 56%, in certain communities, even some neighborhoods are a little bit below that. So we have a very robust database, where we are, doing an aggressive texting and phone banking, which will begin specifically next week, very aggressive phone banking. We're talking about trying to reach maybe 50, 60,000, in certain community boards. But, the situation that we are faced with is that the census has been reduced in terms of the extension of time. It was supposed to end at the end of October. So, the census is supposed to end on September 30th. There is some, hopefully there is a legal issue. They have been sued to see if they could extend it again. So, it's very, very sad, because New York, has been, the response within the 5 boroughs, New York has been around 61, 62%. So we are very aggressive, making sure those pockets of those communities. The areas that I think will be very important to highlight here is the area of Mount Hope, Tremont, Wakefield, Bronxwood, East 250th Street to 229th Street, Van Ness, the area of the Cross Bronx, So those are the areas that we really want to make sure that our community respond to it. Right now, there is enumerators around visiting those households that did not respond to the census. So, our message is to make sure that they ask those census workers, those enumerators, to identify themselves with the appropriate identification, as well as to they have a census bag, and provide the information. But they still can do it, very easily. They could respond through either calling a toll-free number that will help them either in Spanish or in English. The Spanish number is 1-844-468-2020. And then Vesly could probably say the other one that we have that we could, include. They could go also to my2020census.gov. They will, the census questionnaire does not ask for Social Security, for driver's license, credit card, citizenship status, or immigration status. So we are really telling our community how important it is, because if we are not properly counted, we're going to lose federal funding that will lead to, right now we're going through a pandemic that could, really help our community to program, for more hospitals, more social programs, education. And besides that, we could lose 2 congressional districts, based on, the loss of population. So, that's our work, and we really, want to make sure our community gets counted, especially children, especially children, that's so important. Well. And take into consideration, there are people that might rent a room to help them with the support of their rent. You got to count those people that are living in your household, even though they pay, for the room that they share. So that's something that I want to make sure, we can get out the message.
Eddie, thank you, Vesly, for joining us today and speaking more about Dominicanos USA. Before we go, can you just give us the resources for people to stay connected and contact you with any questions that they may have?
Of course. They can always reach us at our website, dominicanosusa.org, or they can always call us, 718-665-0400. We always stay active on our social media pages, so they can always make sure they like, comment, DM. I will answer back to all of them. We always look at everything. We also send out monthly newsletters that shows what we're doing, different resources, and different great information for our community. They should subscribe to that and make sure they sign up for it. So they could just keep in touch with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We even have a YouTube channel. And we're always posting about what we're doing, so they can always keep up to date with us and the things they should know about COVID and everything else.
Do a shout out for volunteers.
Yes, we're looking for volunteers. If anybody wants to volunteer, we're also looking for interns, social media interns, data interns, civic engagement interns. So if anybody's looking for any type of opportunities, they can just reach us at our website or at our phone number.
Thank you both again for your time today, and thank you for your service in our community.
Thank you so much.
You can stay connected with Dominicanos USA at Yo Soy DUSA on Instagram and all social media, and visit their website at dominicanosusa.org. We'll be right back.